Practical Lessons in Yoga by Swami Sivananda. Appendix 2. Yoga and Science. Yoga and science are inseparable. Science and religion are inseparable. Science is part of religion. Science and religion are necessary correlatives. Scientists are also monists in one sense. They also emphatically declare that there is only one thing viz, matter or energy. A yogi tries to control the mental forces, a scientist the physical forces. This is all the difference between a yogi and a scientist. A scientist is also an unconscious Rajayogi, but his mind works in external grooves. Before the invention of watch, yogins used to calculate time by measuring the shadow in day and by the study of the movement of the stars in the heavens at night. They were perfectly exact in their calculations. Astronomy and medicine received their first impulse from the exigencies of religious worship. Yogins have a sound practical knowledge of Ayurveda. One who endeavors to qualify himself as his own doctor can become a yogi. He has to live sometimes in the jungles and has to treat himself first whenever diseases manifest. Otherwise his sadhana will suffer and he cannot have rapid progress in yoga. You will find in the books on Ayurveda, a healthy body is a good instrument for doing virtuous actions and practicing yoga. Those who wrote these Ayurvedic books were great rishis and yogins. Science is partially unified knowledge. A scientist observes the laws of nature, experiments in his laboratory, investigates, infers and draws exact conclusions from his observations. He understands nature, but he knows nothing of the origin or destiny of nature. Who made the sun and gave power to its rays? Who combined 4 parts of nitrogen with 1 part of oxygen? Who gave power to electrons? Who gave power to atoms to combine into molecules? Who or what made and bestowed upon the ultimate particles of matter their marvelous power of varied interaction? Science does not know this great mystery. On the contrary, yoga is completely unified knowledge. A yogi gets inner divine realization. He clearly sees with his inner yogic eyes the subtle rudiments of matter. He identifies himself with the Supreme Being who is the Lord of the Prakriti, matter. He gets control over the 5 elements. He clearly understands the whole mystery of creation through direct intuitional knowledge. The scientist lacks this sort of knowledge. He has only experimental knowledge. In the matter of evidence in psychological question, the sense perceptions with which science naturally deals are only second-rate criteria and therefore to be received with caution. The closing of the external channels of sensation is usually the signal for the opening of the psychic, and from all evidence it would seem that the psychic sense is more extensive, acute and in every way more dependable than the physical. The business of science is generalization of phenomena. It is the function of philosophy and yoga to explain. Religion is the practical aspect of philosophy. Philosophy is the rational aspect of religion. The scientist tries to answer the how of the problem, the philosopher and the yogi the why of it. It is a mistake to say that such and such an event occurs because of certain laws of nature. The laws of nature do not give any real explanation of the phenomena. It is simply a statement in terms as general as possible of what happens under given circumstances in his expression of an observed order or uniformity in a natural phenomena. Science is concerned only with the phenomena. It shows a marvelous harmony of nature. But it is the problem of philosophy and yoga to solve the why of nature's harmony. Scientists possess partial knowledge of the universe. They have not understood the whole code of nature's laws. They have no knowledge of the occult side of things. They have no knowledge of the astral, mental and higher planes such as Brahmaloka, world of Brahma. The unseen world is of far greater importance than the sense universe which is visible to the naked eye. A fully developed yogi can function in all the planes, and so he has full knowledge of the manifested and unmanifested nature. The senses by which you get knowledge of the external objects are not fully developed. Therefore, the knowledge obtained is partial. The external senses are exact counterparts of the internal astral senses. Scientists have no knowledge of the subtle rudiments of matter. Life will become fuller and richer when one develops this inner eyesight by the practice of yoga. Just as blood, when seen under the microscope, reveals many mysterious things such as leukocytes, lymphocytes, nuclei, pigment, germs, bacilli, etc., so also the inner yogic eye reveals many mysteries of the hidden side of things. The knowledge of the scientists is only fragmentary or partial, whereas the knowledge of the yogi is full and perfect. Science differs radically in its outlook from philosophical musings. Consequently, the mode of approach to its specific problems is different from that of philosophy. Yet there is some similarity in their findings when some broad questions are discussed. Scientists have to learn many things from the seers of the East. Who gave power to the electrons to revolve? Who gave life to the cell or the protoplasm? What is that power that unites atoms to, from molecules? Who gave intelligence to the cells to secrete milk or bile or gastric juice from the blood? Scientists are still observing and experimenting. They are still groping in darkness. What is the cause of the origin of an impulse? Who is the director of the mind? What is the cause of the origin of thought? Even if all the living scientists were to put their heads together to solve these questions, they cannot give definite conclusive answers. English-educated people are unduly carried away by scientific theories and discoveries. Anything, however stupid it may be, when stamped by the seal of science, is regarded as gospel of truth. A theory or doctrine, however fallacious it may be, is accepted as true wisdom for all ages when it is proclaimed in the name and on the authority of science. Even if some fantastic and ludicrous statements are made with the stamp of science by a Haeckel, Einstein or Tyndall, people are quite ready to swallow it with great avidity. Such is the fashion of the day. They reject as base superstition the sublime teachings of the ancient rishis and sages. The brains of these so-called educated and cultured people need a prompt, drastic and thorough flushing for a protracted length of time. The poison has percolated into their very cells and tissues. But I do not mean to condemn the wonderful discoveries and inventions that modern science has contributed to the vast store of knowledge and happiness which the present generation enjoys today. The radio, the aeroplane, the microphone, and other marvels of science are bound to baffle human intelligence. Scientists have found ways to fertilize an ovum with chemicals without the help of semen. It is stupendous success. Some children are also born. They inject the semen that is obtained from renowned and cultured men of the world in order to improve the race. They are attempting to fix a radio in a matchstick. They are trying to get the necessary nutrition to the body by pressing an electric button, so that eating and defecation may be entirely abandoned. They are endeavoring to make the streets move so that there will be no necessity for motor cars and carriages. They are trying to establish means of communication with the planet Mars. They may succeed in all their attempts. May God bless them with roaring success in all their undertakings. But the question is, can all these comforts and scientific discoveries and inventions give immortality, eternal satisfaction, and everlasting peace? Have these material comforts enhanced human happiness? Is not man more restless today than ever before? Is he not more dissatisfied and discontented despite all these comforts? Life has become more complex and intricate. Luxuries are increasing day by day. Even a rich man finds it difficult to make both ends meet. There is only one remedy for all these ills. You will have to abandon all luxuries and go back to simple natural living if you want to enjoy real and lasting happiness. Immortality can be attained by realizing the self through simple living, practice of yoga, self-control, mental discipline, and meditation. Matter exists in different conditions or states with solid, liquid, and gaseous. The conditions may be made to change by variation of pressure and temperature. Water is turned into ice at a low temperature and steam at a higher temperature. Every solid may become a liquid or gas under suitable conditions. Every liquid may be rendered solid or gaseous. Every gas may be made liquid or solid. One form of energy can be also transmuted into another form of energy. Heat can be transmuted into light and light into electricity. Even so, seminal energy or muscular energy, anger, etc., can be transmuted into spiritual energy, Ojas Shakti. There is life in the mineral kingdom. This has been conclusively proved by the experiments of Professor Van Skron at Naples. Even the elements manifest distinct preference. One element has a strong liking for the company of another. One element may even give up the company of one substance in order to join another element. This is chemical affinity. Every chemist fully knows this well. Hydrogen likes the company of oxygen. Two molecules of hydrogen combine with one molecule of oxygen. Water is formed. If you place sodium in the water, you will notice that oxygen likes sodium better than hydrogen and immediately abandons the company of hydrogen and joins sodium. Likes and dislikes are more markedly present in the vegetable kingdom than in the mineral. Many plants exhibit a remarkable degree of ingenuity in accomplishing their ends. You should not think that the different planes or realms are lying one above another like the trunks in a shop. The different planes fill up the same space and interpenetrate one another like the light of a hurricane lamp, electric light, gas lamp, and an ordinary kerosene chimney in a room. Matter has different degrees of density and different planes are constituted according to the different degrees of density of matter. These different planes are not separated in space. You are surrounded by these planes. You can be in touch with these planes if you develop the inner astral eye or the clairvoyant sight. It is not necessary for you to travel in space to study the condition of these planes. Within the space of the room you have the 7 planes interpenetrating each other. The beings of a higher plane cannot be seen by the beings of a lower plane. But a being of the higher plane can see the beings of the lower plane. According to the theory of relativity, some scientists believe that the world will expand after some years and man of future generations will be 7 inches tall only, because matter will have to accommodate now to the increased size of the universe. Some matter is taken out of the bodies of human beings and distributed elsewhere to adjust the state of affairs. This is only a speculation and guesswork of some adventurous scientists. It may not happen at all. So you need not be afraid in the least. Be bold and cheerful. Try to get liberation in this very birth so that there will not be any chance for you to get a tiny body of the size mentioned above, even if such an event were to occur. One question strikes me very prominently: can there be the police department then? Can there be military and naval forces and world wars? How can a tiny man wield a machine gun? So there will be no world wars. There will be perfect peace everywhere. Scientists will also have to close down their laboratories. No more inventions and discoveries. No more radios and aeroplanes. No more dictators and tyrants. No more Hitlers and Mussolinis. But yogins there will always be. Yogins can maintain their usual size. They can even expand their bodies ad infinitum through their Mahima Siddhi. They can change their atoms and molecules and rearrange them. They can create new minds, new bodies by their yogic powers. Even during the cosmic deluge they can live. Yogi Kaka Bhusunda lived during many deluges. The position of yogins is always safe. Yoga is the supreme divine science. It is the science of sciences. There will be more peace through simple living. Let us pray to have that new happy era soon. God is the greatest mathematician. All scientists and astronomers are stunned. They bow down their heads and say, "We cannot proceed further. There is something beyond intellect. Our knowledge is imperfect. The riddle of the universe can be solved only by knowledge of the greatest mathematician through intuition. The intellect is a frail and finite instrument. The deductions from various theories have not given us perfect illumination. We are still groping in darkness. We are open to correction. Salutations and adorations to that greatest mathematician. Salutations to the Lord of the universe. May He soon open our inner eyes of intuition. He who dwells within this electron or atom, who is within this electron or atom, whose body this electron or atom is, whom this electron or atom does not know, who rules the electron or atom from within is thyself, inner ruler. Immortal. It is this science of yoga that can help man to unfold his latent divinity and realize his inner self, the basis or source of this world, body, mind, electron, atom and all sciences. Let us all pray to the Lord of the universe and practice yoga in right earnest and commune with the Lord and obtain immortality, supreme peace and infinite bliss. Om Peace. Peace. Peace.